Tony McAvoy as we go to Sam Holland, pick of the yard.
Thanks, Bruce. Yeah, I've got him on top. I went 3-6-4-2. Sorry. Lara, he's a good-looking bull. This horse is he's typical of the European stays. He's not huge, but a neat type. 4 Aquanet is TaiTai Tess. She's only slight mare. She's settled up a real lean machine. She's very fit. And number 2, Streaky Fella, he's holding his condition really well after 23 starts this preparation, Bruce. So obviously likes the bench.
He does. Well, and why wouldn't you? Shane, what's the latest moves here? What's happening with this TaiTai Test situation?
Rightio, let's go back to the board. You only need to know the one thing, that that's all been done with it, I think. It's hit 370, and just in the last 2 minutes, a little bit of extra support for Leroy, who confirms himself a favourite at 350. Now, I'm with Sammy again here. This is the second of the early mailers for us. Leroy for me on top, number 6. I just think he's really emerging, and I like the way Tony's handling his team. The transition from Adelaide over, he seems to bring them here right at the right time. 6 for me on top, Leroy for Ferntree Gully Nissen. From 3 Muirfield, certainly got enough ability to be very competitive here today. And then 5 Clang and Bang, the war horse from Weary Stable, and 4 TaiTai Tess. 6, 3, 5 and 4 for Ferntree Gully Nissen. Sporting Bet market mover was going to be TaiTai Tess up until about the last 2 minutes, where the secondary rally has started to come in for Leroy, and at the moment it's very hard to split them. Been very well tried, both of these, and they haven't forgotten to back Muirfield late either. 480 down to 460, so bit of a race here, and good support for both of these, TaiTai Tess and Leroy.
Well, one thing about it, Shane, is it looks as though you would think with Clang and Bang and Nipshus, you're going to get a solid run 2,000, so it's going to be Tony talking about Leroy looking at the 2,400 metres, that's what he's going to be. He's going to tough this right out the end of 2,000.
You and I know we both like Leroy, and Sammy likes him. The stronger it's run, the better it'll be for me. I reckon the way he's raced in Adelaide, the longer the race goes, the better he seems to get into his action. But Jerry's saying now that no Sporting Bet market mover here. He said there's really good money for both of these. So there's your 2, there's your lead, 4 and 6, 6 or 4. No better bet than a Sporting Bet, but no single Sporting Bet market mover here.
That's Tony McAvoy's, well, the new colours that Tony uses, and of course in partnership with the Pipeline Bloodstock Syndicate. They've got Kildalton Park up, taken over from Lindsay Park over there in South Australia. I was over there yesterday having a look at the facilities, and fantastic job that Tony's doing with his team. Actually worked a couple of horses about midday there yesterday. For us to have a look at there, so very impressive setup there, and he's got a lot of these imports in them that seem to be adjusting well to that rural lifestyle in beautiful Angus in South Australia. Why wouldn't you? We're on start time. Streets of Seattle, that's in the next race. Race 5 will try and be written closer than normal, says Racing Victoria Stewards. Here's Greg Miles for the 4th.
The Streaky Fella, the last one to come up. 3.20 for the tag favourite Leroy, $3.90 for TaiTai Tess now, 4.40 Muirfield. So a good betting race, and they're all in the stalls ready to run. All the best to Harry on Clang and Bang. Away they go, and he's jumped away very swiftly going up towards the lead where TaiTai Tess had pinged away, but it's now running to the lead, Clang and Bang. Muirfield and Nipshus are up there in prominent roles, and just off them is Leroy settling down in 5th placing, and he's being followed Streaky Fella, Eumatic, and they're being trailed by Studley Park second last, and 2 lengths to Macedonian as they settle fully into stride, and they're heading to the 1,400. Clang and Bang the leader. Muirfield, after racing a little bit deep, it's straight up now, and he's 3/4 away second. 2 lengths to Nipshus. They're running a good gallop. 2.5 away then came TaiTai Tess. 3/4 to the outside is Leroy. 2 lengths to Streaky Fella and Eumatic. A further 2 lengths to Studley Park and Macedonian at the tail end. So they've climbed to the top of the track now, and it's Harry Coffey on Clang and Bang the leader. He's out by 2 lengths Muirfield and 2 lengths to Nipshus. Similar margin away then in 4th placing on the inside, TaiTai Tess. Leroy the outside, 1,000 to go. They're followed by Streaky Fella and Eumatic together, and 2 behind them is Studley Park and Macedonian, 2 further back. So to the railway side they go, and Clang and Bang by a length and a quarter. Muirfield second, Nipshus third. 2 lengths away TaiTai Tess. She's fourth on the inside, having enjoyed a good run, and so too is Loire the outside. 1.5 Umatic, Streaky Fella, and 3 lengths to Studley Park, and together with it is Macedonian. At the 600, Clang and Bang by a length. Buellfield second, Nipsh's under pressure. TaiTai Tess has gone through on the inside of him, and Loire's coming home. They're followed by Umatic and then Streaky Fella. Up to the turn now, Clang and Bang out by 2 lengths. Buellfield can't get him at the moment. Loire and TaiTai Tess come with their runs, but into the straight now. And Harry Coffey pulled the whip on Clang and Bang. Keep running, fella. 1.5 lengths in front. Loire's coming home. TaiTai Tess is boxing on. Buellfield as well. But now with 150 to go, Loire raced up and he's gone to the lead from Clang and Bang, TaiTai Tess and Muirfield, but Loire too strong, comes away, strong run race really suited him, and Loire by 2.5, TaiTai Tess, and Net Muirfield, Clang and Bang ran fourth. Break behind them further back then, Nipshus and Macedonian picked up a couple, Umatic, and at the end of the field, Streaky Fella with one more. A distant last is Studley Park.
Well, he's a promising stayer and joins Muro and perhaps Pelicano for Tony's team. And this McAvoy Mitchell racing team really starting to build a great deal of momentum. And Tony happy with that base in South Australia and bringing them over here at the right time. It's working, and now he's got a Melbourne-based jockey riding these horses. Bossy. It's a bit of trick stuff there with D done, and there's a bit of jockey play out there, but it was all fair and square. But best horse won, best day won, and a bit to look forward to here.
Oh, we said before the race, the better the pace they ran it at, the better he'd like it, and that's exactly, Sam, the way it's worked out. Once he starts to wind up this horse, and this is the first time we've seen it do it in Melbourne, we've watched on the TV in Adelaide, he just gets stronger and stronger as the race gets going, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's it. And look, he travels well. Glenn had him a bit closer than what I thought maybe, because he jumped not too bad today, but he made sure that he wasn't giving them too big a start. He sort of sat outside TaiTai Tess there all the way down the side when they both started to improve into the race. I thought initially, for the first sort of 20, 50 yards, I thought, oh, he might be a bit flat-footed here. But then once he got into his rhythm, then he started to round up. And it was, then he quickly put the race over.
He's done that a couple of times in Adelaide too. The turns he doesn't take that great, but once he flattens out, away he goes. Tony McAvoy with Bruce.
That's right. Well, yeah, Tony, good signs for the big picture as well, but for this horse primarily as we talk about now.
Yes, I was really impressed with him, Bruce. Like, he took on some hard nuts there today, and he's still only a 3-year-old, really. And I love the way he finished it off at the end, and further better. So we'll probably, if all is well with him, we'll probably go to Sydney. There's a 1.5 mile listed race in Sydney for him on Boxing Day, and then he'll back off, and we'll concentrate on next year.
Okay, well, G-Boss taking over today, obviously much is made of what happened last week, and that's business. Business is business.
Business is business. I'm feeling really good at the moment, and I think my Adelaide jockey will be feeling really bad at the moment.
Well, you've got to learn a lesson from those things, don't you?
Absolutely, yes.
As I touched on pre-race, so things are really sort of gelling for your team. The way you've got your operation there, and you can just pick and plot your paths which way you go.
Yes, it's nice to have the horses of this class. I've been struggling a little bit with my quality of stock, which we're improving, and it takes time. But the facility needs no introduction, as you say. It's been set up by one of the best in the business, and I'm just blessed to be able to be training off that property now. But no, I'm really pleased, and it suits these style of horses beautifully.
That's well done, Tony.
Thanks very much.
Tony McAvoy is Bossy comes back here on Loire a bit slowly. Of course, we touched on that Matthew Nielsen situation last week, and I think he's still smarting a bit over it, Shane.
Yeah, well, as he probably should be, but certainly Bossy's been the beneficiary today, and this horse has got a real future. And big tick for Tony. He's really handling this terrific at the moment. I mean, he's been a bit sticky. He just missed with Muro. He just missed winning the Ballarat Cup with Pelicano. He's got the results here today, but he could have easily brought 3 horses over here, Sammy, in the space of a fortnight, and cleaned up with a lot of them.
Yeah, that's it. Well, look, the team's going well. The horses are flying, and he's got some really impressive European stayers that he's got to train, and they're going to be winning better races than these ones.
And this horse is so lightly raced, and as Tony said, he's really only 3. You just see that the future's going to be huge for this bloke if he continues to improve. I know we might be spruiking a bit off an off-season, off-carnival race, but you just got to like his style.
Doing it nicely, isn't he? You know, and it was, I think he's going to handle the step up To better grade, no problems.
Yep, started 3.30 favourite. They backed TaiTai Tess strong to beat him. It looked like Clang and Bang was the only horse he had to catch coming around the home turn, but the effort just told on Clang and Bang. He got very tired in the last 100 metres and he finished up missing the place. Numbers 6, 4, 3 and 5. 2 3/4 by a long neck. They ran the 2000 in 2.3.16. Bossy with Bruce.
Double for G-Boss, and probably a good stable to start getting your foot in the door here. Tony seems to be coming together quite nicely for him.
Oh, it's a pleasure to ride for him. You know, it's, I hold Tony in high regard. He's just a pleasure to be around. He's a gentleman. So and he can train a horse. Don't worry about that. But obviously he's very upbeat about this horse. He's got a good record already for a lightly rated horse. He's sort of not meeting any superstars, but there's a couple of handy ones in there. So he's a bit of a horse. He's very kind. He just relaxes very well, and you have to get about him. You have to ask him to really do it. I'd say the further we went, the margin would have just got greater and greater. He would have just really started to really motor towards the end. So yeah, got a 1.5 mile horse here and beyond. I think when he gets to a bit further than 1.5 miles, he'll actually probably come right into his own.
We've got to remember too, he's only a 3-year-old by his age against these tough old nuts.
Yes, Tony did remind me of that. He's only a young horse, and like he's everything you do on him, he feels very foaly. He's a very kind but foaly horse. So obviously he's in great hands there with Tony. He'll plot a course with him, and he might have a horse in the spring that might develop. Who knows where they go with him? But he'll be better than average stayer.
Thanks, Bossy.
Thanks, Snowy.
And Boss, 2 for him for the day and doing a great job. Quaddy starts next here at Caulfield. In the meantime, taking a break back to Warwick Farm after that.